Greetings, fellow islanders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering Oceaneers. If you would like to skip the game's overview or the setup of this series, please use YouTube chapters. Oceaneers is a sci-fi survival crafting colony sim set in a flooded world of floating islands. Build a colony, craft gear, design rafts, fend off sharks, manage your survivors, and explore island bunkers to uncover lost technology to empower your survival. I'll be playing the Fresh Start on normal difficulty, so new game. There is multiple game start scenarios, so let me show you them in just a moment. There is the Fresh Start, barely survive, punching sharks, smooth sailing being the easiest. I'm going to go with the standard Fresh Start. So we start off with a little bit of food, some coconuts, some wood, some sticks, and the like. For the starting colonists or survivors, or whatever you want to call it, we've already raffled them off. So we're going to have Marauder. I'm not going to change the way they look, but let's decide. Marauder, you will be our science off. And you know what? No, you're going to be our navigator. And I'm going to give you dainty appetite, so you don't eat very much, as our explorer. And they have a force trait of fog piercers, so they can see at greater distance. The next one is going to be Merps. Merps, you... Oh, actually, I'm going to make you the captain. Now I think about it. All right, Marauder the captain. A Marauder captain. I think that's good. Merps, we're going to make you the scavenger and give you hard worker to gain bonus XP for harvesting and salvaging tasks. And I'm just going to do one trade each. And they get a debris whisperer, find a chance to find extra debris as a result of their scavenger background. And then last but not least, we've got Mandarik. So Mandarik is going to be our science officer. And we're going to give them Ice Noodle, immune to brain burn. And they have lab tech for bonus research. All right. That like sickly yellow was weird, so I'm going to change it a little bit. All right, next. This is where you can set up your world settings, and I'm going to have all these default. But you can change some of the sliders here. Now, some of it is locked as a result of this game is in development, and it will change over time. The seed is going to be Rhad, and this is going to be Rhadland, because I'm so creative. The tutorials and the critical information pop-ups will be left on, and I'm going to be running through this like it is a tutorial, and therefore reading all of the tutorial stuff so that you can learn to play alongside watching. Raft wrecked. Your story begins. Well, that's sunk. We best whip up a new raft, and fast. This island might just be on its way down too. Yeah, who knows what ancient duct-taped float tech contraption this island's got beneath it. Maybe it's a class 3, or maybe it's held together with bubblegum and wishes. Either way, let's hope for the best. Alright, zoom in with the mouse wheel, or page up, page down. I don't know a soul that uses page up, page down, but sure. Mouse wheel in, mouse wheel out. Pan the camera, WSD or middle mouse, and then it wants me to left click to select the beach reeds, which is highlighted for me here. Details of the selected object and its resources are shown in the corner of the UI, down here. So one beach reed will regrow in 3 days. This beach reed is wild, I did not plant it, and it has 2 different types of resources in it. Click a character to select them. So let's click on Marauder. Character details are shown in the corner of the UI, right where the details about the objects that you interact with are. So here's Marauder, and you can see his stats, morale, etc. You can open the character sheet and toggle auto jobs and more up in this tab. It's kind of shaped like a manila folder or something. And equip tools here or in the character sheet. Select a character with right click and then right click the ground or water to move them. So you can swim or you can walk. Right click the beach reeds to give a character the task. So we're going to give this to Merps. Right click and I can say harvest. Well done. You can also hold shift to queue up tasks, and the tasks queued up will be shown here. So right now Merps is told to harvest once, but if I did all three, there'd be harvest, harvest, harvest. So we'll do that. Harvest and harvest, and holding left shift, as you can see, they're all queued up, and if you want to cancel the queue, you can click on the specific item you want to cancel. Okay, read the strange note. We'll have our captain, dear captain, do that. So I'm going to pick up the note. And then Mandaric, who is, of course, our science boy, will start picking up random items that are on the island here. Additionally, open the handbook. So the handbook is up here on the top right. And this gives you any notes that you've taken. Like, notes might be like passcodes to a vault or something like that. The colony overview, how many islands you have, survivors and food supply, the fish codex, God knows I'm not going to fish, but you know, poster collection, and then the guide about different things. I don't want to jump into the guide just yet. Scavenge beechwood from the ocean. So, you know, I'm actually going to tell Merps to do that instead. Salvage, 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 and then science will harvest, harvest, harvest. Because, of course, our salvager is better at salvaging, not harvesting. And then it also wants me to harvest the reeds. So we're going to do that as well. So the current priority is follow the tutorial, for now at least. You uncover a tattered, salt-stained note. Most of it been claimed by water, time, or very determined seagulls, but a few lines remain. Something about a hatch buried in a sand pile, and warning to keep them out. The author apparently went searching for an access card. Whether they found it, or something else found them, is anyone's guess. In the corner, a faint scribble catches your eye. F4. Really, the game wants me to Alt F4 already? That's rude. If you don't need a map to tell you these are the coordinates, but you do need a raft to find out where they lead. Okay. Marauder, I'm going to have you dig the sand. And he says he needs a shovel. And I currently have no equipment. So, it wants me to investigate the abandoned glider, dig strange sand piles, and explore F4. So let's go and investigate the scout glider that was abandoned here. All the while, we have Merps harvesting the driftwood, and then Mandaric harvesting the reeds. An abandoned scout glider, courtesy of the previous inhabitants. After a few minor repairs, a firm invocation of finders keepers, it'll be good as new. We can use this to scout the region for places to send expeditions. Now that's progress. Time to start scouting. And I'm not going to scout right now because, like, we're not really prepared. We don't have, like, resources or whatever. So, obviously, I'm not going to jump to this just yet. But you would open the map with M. You would select the scout and the glider you want to scout with, because you can have multiple gliders. It will tell you the time of the journey and when it takes place. And then you select the actual map, which would be done. Excuse me. I'm sick, obviously. So if you hear my voice is weird, that's why. which requires an expedition station. Okay. Now that we've just gathered plant fiber, we can craft rope, simple bait, wooden bucket, crude belt. And these are all things that will help us out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assign Marauder to work here. This is what is called an island work post. Survivors will do jobs on the island and the surrounding water within the work post radius. Configure jobs in the work post and for the character. So this work post here is going to automate all of these tasks. And Marauder is assigned to the work post, so he's just going to be collecting resources for me automatically. Now, as far as the resources go, if you mouse up to the top, you can see the resources that you have. And they're not stored in a stockpile. They're sort of like a universal storage. Like, our people know teleportation or something? So you don't really need to worry about, like, building stockpiles, and things like that. There are some exceptions to that, like human fecal matter needs stockpiles, but not everything does. Food is essential to survival. Okay, build a food crate so survivors can access food. Each food resource provides different benefits, like hunger, thirst, health. Some foods will dehydrate you, some foods will heal you. You can eat raw ingredients, but as you progress, you'll be able to cook prepared meals with greater benefits. Most food spoils. Cooking food can increase spoilage time. Spoiled food can be useful for composting, but too much waste before you can store it will create stinky piles. All right. So in the starter guide, we have harvested reeds, and we're scavenging beechwood from the ocean. All right, tutorial about the controls. Left-click an object to select it. Trees, bushes, etc. And you can see the details of the object on the bottom left. You can left-click to select characters. You can right-click for actions. You can click on the ground to move them. You can hold shift to queue it up. And I just explained the automatic work post, but you can set a range with plus and minus. You can configure what types of tasks it does. You can check the character sheet of your character to enable the jobs you want to do automatically or set the priority of each job, and I'll show you that in a moment. And then they will queue up those automatic tasks. And then you can also set up automation to be like craft until 10 is in storage, which is incredibly useful. I love when games have functions like that. So if you open up the automation tab here, this is Marauder, and I can say, hey, Marauder, if there's something you hate doing, don't do it. So taking a look at Marauder's character sheet here, Marauder doesn't have any like hated work as far as I can remember. No, you don't like crafting, harvesting, or mining. So, crafting, harvesting, and it's funny because I'm literally having a harvesting right now. And mining can be massively lowered in terms of priority so that he doesn't end up having to do them as often. So instead, I can have him just like pick stuff up. All right. I'm going to make a crafting table. Now, one thing you'll notice about this game is that you have a very small island and objects need space around it to work. So you should use the space as wisely as you can because you don't have a lot of it. So I'm actually going to have Marauder start constructing the crafting table, which is going to allow us to start setting up basic tools. Turtle, thank you for the resub. And Chief Bearpaw and Dev as well. And Steelboot too. So Merps here is about to finish harvesting the beechwood from the ocean. I need 5 of it for the starter guide. It's also worth noting that he is currently satisfied and his body temperature is fine. But the ambient temperature is 21 Celsius and he's wet, which lowers his tolerance down 5. And the reason I mention this is because some days are colder and then nights are colder. And swimming and nights or colder days can cause hypothermia. So you should be careful with that. So here's the crafting table. And it wants me to build a food crate. So first thing, we'll need a crafting table to make basic items, gather the resources, then place it from the building bar. After the building is constructed, command a character to construct it. When it's ready, command a character to craft. New recipes can be unlocked as you discover new resources. Characters can also be selected from the character list in the top left. Buildings you have unlocked or researched will appear on the building bar below. Using work posts and automation, characters can harvest nodes you mark with these tools down there. So automatic cutting, harvesting, etc. View resources you collect on the bar at the top left. And the weather forecast, not that we have a weather forecast device, so we just know it's sunny today, but we don't know the upcoming 4 days, is in the top right. And then time controls and the objectives. And then lastly, the handbook, which I've already opened up. Cool. All right, so we have a crafting table. We do not yet have a food crate, a bed, or a coconut shovel. So if I hit manage on the crafting table, a coconut shovel is 1 beechwood and 1 coconut. And I'll queue it up. And have Marauder start making it. And tools come in different tiers. A coconut shovel, I believe, is a tier 0 shovel. It's basically sucks. It can dig up sand. But that's all that we really need right now. The other thing we wanted to do is to get a food crate. And I'm going to put a food crate, let's see, as close to the crafting table as possible. Right there. Normally this game has a lot more music. I don't really know where the music went. So, once Mandrake harvests all the reeds, we'll continue to harvest the other things on the island. Tools and equipment. Select a character and click the tools slot to equip it. You can equip items and clothing from the character sheet. Weapons go in the weapon slot. And C opens up the character sheet. Tools are essential for gathering resources and building a thriving colony. Build a crafting table to craft basic tools, and belts and backpacks give more tool slots. So if we click on Mandrake, or actually let's do Marauder, down here we have a single tool slot for the shovel we just crafted, or alternatively in the character sheet you have it here too, and it automatically gets attached. So Marauder, I'm going to have you dig up this strange sand pile in the middle of the island. UI basics. Starter guide. So you've got the objectives on the right. You've got your toolbar for useful information about your colony. So your morale, sleep, food, water, bathroom needs, mood. Or health rather, not morale. The red one's health. And the handbook, as well as the mini-map, and I'll open that up in just a moment. And then the building bar. So here's the mini-map. It's very busy, but that's just because there's a lot of stuff around us right now, including sharks, so we got to be careful about how we swim. So here's a quick overlay. We're doing all right. All right, Mandrake is going to start working on the food crate. Which is good, because we're going to want to eat a proper meal, or at least some food soon. And he is our lab tech. So once we start researching, Mandrake's going to be the one. Marauder says, what the? Some kind of advanced device. This sure is a strange island. You're right, something feels off. I haven't felt a single rumble or shake. Now that you mention it, neither have I. Let's check this device out and figure out what the seagull-loving heck is going on. Are the time controls like ×2, ×4, times... yeah, that's basically it. So, island inspection. What a strange gadget. This has float tech written all over it, quite literally. Each island has different class, and I'll explain this in a bit more detail. Islands also have different system and modules. Islands have a beauty score determined by the waste piles, nodes, mess, and decorations. So if we inspect the island here, the island beauty right now is okay. It has 27 mess, and the mess is like, you know, sand piles and that kind of stuff. It is not overcrowded, but soon will be as we construct stuff. This is a Class X. It is unsinkable. The story of this game will reveal this a little bit more as time goes on, but I'll spoil it just a little bit. Most of the islands in the world sink. You stand on them, they cannot support your weight, and after a time, they go underwater. Some of them go underwater permanently, some temporarily until they refloat. This island, however, cannot be sunk. We also have a module here, which is research speed. As you can see, my head was in the way. So there is a module installed in the island, which increases research speed. Hang on. Dang thing must be broken. Did you try turning off and on again? There's no fancy buttons on this gadget. Hold up. The device is working. This island is held up by Class X float tech. No way! Luckiest raft wreck ever. So this island is unsinkable. That's amazing, but it's tiny. We've got our work cut out for us to turn this thing into a thriving colony. No time to waste. Let's build a raft and explore nearby sectors. We need every scrap of resource we can find. You've stumbled upon a hidden gem in this waterlogged world. It's almost enough to make you want to return those soggy raft boots for good. Almost. Even though it's unsinkable, this island is tiny, and your survivors have needs that won't fit in your back pocket. Still, we've got a chance, albeit a wee one. Send your crew on expeditions, scrounge up some booty, and who knows, maybe you'll uncover some float tech wizardry to expand our slice of paradise into a haven for more survivors. Alright, there is the food crate. And, you know what? No one's really hungry right now. But if we were to eat, you would open up the food crate. And now here's Mandrake. And if I ate, like, let's say, beach reeds, which does 4 hunger, 2 thirst. As you can see, the hunger and thirst bar goes up. Some foods will have a, like a toilet risk. As you can see, eating beach reeds will raise toilet need. And then some foods like coconuts will give you a coconut shell when it's consumed. So if you want more like coconut shovels, not that I do, you could eat a coconut and get a shovel for it. So there we go. I'm going to have Mandrake eat from the food crate because that's what it wanted me to do. Marauder, I want you to kick some trees. Kick them coconuts down. Alright, and then it wants me to dig up a science capsule. So, Marauder, keep digging. Okay, we just picked up flint for first time. That gives us the ability to get stone axes and stone pickaxes. So if we click on one of these trees here, as you can see, it says tier 0. I know it might be a little small, and it's cut down with an axe and regrows in like 6 to 8 days. So if we made an axe, we could cut down the palm trees for a significant amount of wood. So if I go over to my crafting table, here's what we know how to make so far. we know how to make crude belts, soggy bandages, so on and so forth. And at the bottom here, we have a stone axe. Let's make one. All right. So, the story wanted me to dig up the other strange sand pile. And here it is. This is a hatch. And it wants me to find a fuse for hatch number 75. Got it. All right. Marauder, dig up this buried science capsule now. Merps is elbow deep in salvaging the debris when, without warning, it loses all sense of physics and begins to sink. So sometimes when you're salvaging stuff, you get this like event, and here's a quick little poll for it. I can either do my best to grab one more item, or because Merps happens to be our salvage expert, put your expertise to work and grab a couple of items. And this is because the salvaging is high enough. Now, if he had crafting level 4, he could craft a quick flotation device to keep it afloat. But this is what I was saying before, which is everything sinks. So here is the debris that he was salvaging that just went to the bottom of the deep. Because that's what happens. You pry open this science capsule. That unmistakable scent of corporate blue slaps your brain pan like a wet cod. It's a new blueprint fragment for a research table. Whoa, a float tech blueprint? Now that's a rare find. They are real? I thought they were just a myth. Corporation worked on some really strange projects. This could improve our survival chances though. Let's get it built and see what it does. You can now build a research table, unlock new buildings, and improve productivity and expand your colony. So it wants me to still build a bed. So in basic survival needs, as you can see, a primitive bed costs 1 rope, and rope is not found but made. Oops, that's not rope. And rope is like plant fiber that can be broken down from palm fronds. And it also wants me to build a research table, which we will get once we have even more rope. All right, of all of my people, who is the best crafter? Is what I'm wondering. So you have crafting 0. Mandrake, you've got crafting 0. Marauder, you have crafting -1. So really anyone but Marauder. Got it. Alright, what happened to my music? For real. I like the music in this game and it's just not playing. Oh. Hey, it's just the wrong hour. Got it. Like I can read. Ha. Cheers. So the current priority is still just following the tutorial, where we're going to build a research table and a bed. There's the research table. I'm doing that next because a bed is something we're going to need in a while because we're not sleepy yet. And work is done, so here's a primitive bed. I'm going to put the primitive bed over here. Now that we have... Merps, you are the one that does not like harvesting? No, you don't care. Now that we have the trees, the axe rather, I'm going to harvest the coconut trees. Because they'll regrow. But Merps is probably the wrong person to do this. Because I'm going to want to start research. Nice! A research table. It's science time. Researching takes time, so choose wisely. Assign a character to a research station to progress. Research progress is shown at the top bar up here, next to the weather. Building upgrades can also be researched. Special research topics are unlocked with blueprint fragments. Alright, so, Merps, unequip the stone axe and start research. Click any research topic to make it active. Survivors working at a research table will progress this topic. Scroll through the section by dragging or scrolling using the sidebar. Jump to any research sections with these section buttons. Everything without a lock can be researched and built. Special topic unlock upgrades for buildings. And then there is also advanced research as well, which we do not yet have access to. To perform advanced research, you need to upgrade your research table. And a colonist to be able to actually do the advanced research. Kind of like oxygen not included. Alright, a basic toilet is recommended because we're gonna want to poo somewhere. And there ain't many bushes out there to poo in, so let's research that first. I'm gonna give Mandrake the axe, and once he's done with building the bed, he'll start cutting down the trees. Energy and sleeping. Character energy depletes over time. Some tasks will deplete energy faster. When a character is tired, they will slowly move and work slower. Characters that idle won't use much energy. You can also relax at a campfire to conserve energy. Build a bed and sleep to recover energy. We're obviously going to want to sleep in shifts because we only have one bed at the moment. So I am going to send Marauder to sleep right now. Now, there is a bit of a penalty trying to sleep during the day while the sun's up, but like, you know, whatever. I'm going to do it anyway. So here, if we take a look at him, he is sleeping during the day, so gaining energy slow. Merps is my salvager. You're right about that. Mandrake, I switched them around, and I'm probably going to do that a bunch. All their names start with M, and that's confusing. Alright, put them back. Our lab tech ice brain noodle is hitting the books. He does look more like a nerd. Maybe I'll try to remember that way. So now that it's nighttime, or becoming nighttime as you can see, well, not quite yet. Once it becomes formally nighttime, there will be a sleep speed bonus. This is the 3M island? I suppose. The reason I am focusing on cutting down trees and cutting reeds is because they regrow. The sooner I cut them down, the sooner they come back. So there's a lot of other finite resources here, but the trees and the reeds are renewable. Which is why I'm focusing on them. There we go. So, sleeping at night, getting energy fast. And he's up. And I am going to pass the axe. So Merps, you're going to go to sleep now. And Marauder's going to take the axe and start harvesting. Man, there is a lot of sharks around us. 3 hours till migration, 3 hours till migration, 3 hours till migration. So in 3 hours, maybe they'll piss off. Because they are patrolling, for lack of a better term, like a lot of the high-value crates out there. Trolls! Yeah, it's pretty similar to Don't Starve as well. Similar to a whole bunch of different games, if I'm honest. Is fish renewable? Yeah. There's a lot of the resources are renewable over time. And then some resources, like this coconut floating on the island, when you harvest the coconut, the island will sink. Weird physics are at play. So you can see the ambient temperature now is 11 Celsius. It's significantly cooler than it was. So because it's nighttime and it's much colder, I should stay out of the water because I don't want hypothermia. All right, Merps is up. Mandaric's gonna go take a snooze. And the aim right now is to tidy up the island and build a raft. So there we go. Day 2 begins. 0 food spoiled at colony. 0 spoiled at expeditions. Survivor resolve has gone up for all 3. The weather outlook is light rain, which means cooking sucks and we shouldn't do it. Because it costs a lot more fuel. So a basic raft will cost 2 raft planks, a rudder, and rope. So here's a raft plank. Making 2 of them. It also costs a rudder section and rope. And I will get the rope made as well. So it was 4 rope. And we have Merps harvest this broken raft for the paddle blade. And he just harvested one of the raft planks off the broken raft as well, so I don't need to make that. Stupid rain. All right. So I'm going to have Merps, who has passive levels of crafting, continue making the materials required for a raft. It also wants me to research solar still for clean water, which I will queue up after basic toilet is done. And we have the last tree. So if you're thirsty, you can drink dirty water. Dirty water will refill depending on how heavy the rain is, but dirty water can also cause sickness. So if at all possible, it's better to consume your water through like coconuts or something that won't have a food poisoning risk. So to that end, before Marauder continues work, I'm going to have him eat 2 coconuts and 3 reeds, filling up his needs. I would also like to get a toilet up because we are going to need a toilet pretty soon. So Mandaric is up, and I'm going to send Mandaric straight to the research table to research toilets. so we can poo in peace. Now, one thing that will happen as we are like cleaning up the island like this is it will become more beautiful. So next up, now that we have the basic toilet, we're gonna mouse downwards and research primitive solar still. I know it's currently raining, so you would think a rain collector would be better, but the rain collector takes longer to research and the solar still works always, whereas the rain collector only works during the rain, so I'd rather have the solar still. Thank you for tuning in to Oceaneers, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow islanders.